Hello. Thank you all for watching and joining and taking part in RomComAthon as a whole. So myself and Michelle and Bree are here to A, discuss Do I Know You, and B, to just talk about how the week has been as a whole. So we'd love you to leave us in the comments. Did you read Do I Know You? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? What were some parts that you liked or you didn't like? And also tell us what you have read, what you haven't read, if there was anything that you really loved. And I'm going to stop talking. I literally did not take a breath from when I stopped waiting until then.
Oh, see, you were smart. You collected everything.
Yeah, I didn't do anything.
Mine have just been here because I plan to do like a wrap up at the end of my blog.
That would have been smart. I put all my books away.
Okay.
All of mine have been audiobooks, so the only way I would do that is hold you up my phone.
I've read 6.5 books because I DNF'd Do I Know You 50% in. So
that's impressive.
I don't count DNF. But
did you DNF it, Bree, or did you actually finish it?
I finished it.
And
2.5 stars.
Okay. I may be the only one who actually enjoyed it.
So I didn't make it very far. Where I DNF'd is when she was describing why she didn't talk to her sister anymore. And that's where I decided that I was no longer into it. So can you tell me why you liked it?
I feel so put on the spot. So it genuinely confuses me too as to why I liked it, because as we all know, I'm not a second chance girly.
No.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand the idea of it. If you didn't work out with them 10 years ago, why the hell are you going to work out with them now? Nothing has changed. But
I would argue that this is actually not a second chance romance.
I think that can also be argued. But I felt like I was enjoying watching them date each other again. Because in a couple of second chances that I've read, they don't date each other again. They just say, okay, we're going to give it another try. And then they fall straight into bed the next morning. But here they were actually like going to a boxing class, going to the beach, doing whatever. And I was actually enjoying watching that part of it. But like you, there were a couple of things that I did not like. Because I think all three of us have said that their communication for a 5 years married couple was horrific. Like, so bad.
Like, this author duo are
married.
They're married.
Like, it concerns me for their marriage, because what if they don't speak to each other?
Okay, so what I really didn't like, and me and Bree talked about this a little bit last night, is they had like such a big opportunity for this like fake dating or like dating again scenario to be like so flirtatious and like so cute and but they were like so insecure around each other. And I was like, you're insecure around your partner?
Yeah, that's like your husband.
Yeah, that was like completely mind-boggling for me. And it was like it wasn't funny, and it wasn't cute.
Like it could have been like if they would have leaned into the humor of dating your husband, and like relearning things about themselves, then I think it would have been good. But because we went like really deep and like emotional, it like missed the mark.
Yeah, I
actually think that the roughest draft was funnier.
I haven't read the roughest draft.
I did not like it.
I think that one 3.5 stars, and like it wasn't like that is a second chance romance. This one I think is Marriage on the Rocks.
Do you think that it's weird for a married couple to write stories about that kind of trope? Like, do you think that it's weird for a married couple to write about a marriage that's in trouble, or like a second chance romance? I would very much hope that their marriage is not in trouble.
I mean, I don't think they wrote this from experience, because I know that this couple has been together since high school. So I think this is just pure fiction for them. Like, what if our marriage was on the rocks?
Right.
But the way that they went about it, in my opinion, was so serious when it could have been funny. Like, we could have gotten so flirtatious with them being like, oh, it's so nice to meet you. It's
because they had the 2 bedrooms.
Yeah.
I thought I kind of thought that they would utilize that a little bit more. But basically, all that they did with it was, I know that you didn't get to this part, Michelle, but there was a point, maybe about 70 or so % into the book, that his parents turned up.
Which was the dumbest.
It was so dumb. It was so stupid. So his parents just showed up on the day of their actual anniversary. His parents showed up and they're like, we're going to take you to brunch. And he freaks out because he's like, I don't know where she is. I don't know where my wife is. She said she was going on like a hike, or she said something like that. And it turns out she was in the pool. And I'm just like, you don't need to be attached at the hip every 20 seconds, even if you're on a holiday, even if you're on people need to pee. People need to sleep. People might want to, like, you might want to do one thing and they might want to do another thing.
Yeah.
Like, it would have made more sense if they had said, oh, can we just meet you at the cafe at 2 and give us a chance to, like, shower, get ready.
Well, I don't even understand why they were there in the first place.
Can you explain to me why they showed up to their...
I can't remember. Okay. It was their anniversary and they paid for it. So
I remember that. They were like not happy to go on this trip together, which red flag, first of all. Like, they're like complaining about going to this all-inclusive resort for their anniversary.
Also,
and it was not on their dollar.
From just a logistical standpoint, she's an audiobook narrator.
Yes.
And she consistently narrates audiobooks in the car. I don't know about you, but the acoustics in a moving car,
not only that, you will hear the car mechanisms. If you hear the or the person who's driving with might be listening to the radio, or they're like, they get into like, they see something up ahead and they're like, fuck's sake. Because I get that when I'm driving and I see somebody up ahead doing something stupid and I'm like, the fact
that when I vlog,
that's not something I would stop doing because somebody was recording beside me.
Well, the fact that like when I vlog, I have to like turn my car off so that I don't have background noise.
Yeah, someone in editing should have been like, so this is not how this works, actually.
No wonder her editor came back to her and was like, this sounds like trash. Can you do it?
Chucky, come here.
I'd like to hear what the dog's opinions of the book were. I'm very interested to hear what the dog's opinions of the book were.
You know, they got real bored and fell asleep. Potatoes.
I have to tell you, when we picked this one, this was like, I was never gonna read it.
Why did you say something?
Why didn't you tell us that?
Because I was hoping it would surprise me. You know, like I wanted to be wrong. I wanted to. Yeah, like
just not the way you wanted to be.
Yeah, because I did not like the roughest draft, I was not excited, and I didn't really like this premise. For me, it sounded dumb because I knew it was going to be like a communication thing in your marriage, which just like is a red flag, right? Yeah. So when we picked this, I was like, listen, what if this turns out to be a 5-star book? But you rate books so that like you could have hated it for the first 85-90% of the book, and then you get to the end and something happens and you're just like, this is a 5-star read. That is definitely how I rate things. You're 100% correct. But like if I don't like it the first 20% though.
Oh, so it's like there's no in between.
There's like no in between, and like just like I got an arc of this unsolicited. Like I just showed up in my NetGalley and I was like, oh, because I reviewed the roughest draft, so they gave it to me and I was like, okay. I
asked the publisher for a copy of this on NetGalley and they refused me.
I should send it to you.
I even said that I was doing it for RomComAthon and they did not.
I will say, and I didn't read a lot from him. I feel like he's more in the second half, but David was great.
There are people.
Me too, Brandy. Yeah. But like Aoife, you liked it, and I know that Sherry, who isn't here, liked it. I think Sherry's working. She always works the weekends, but she would defend this book for us.
There were a couple of things that I didn't love. So I initially put it as a 5-star, and then I kind of sat with myself and I thought, hey, maybe it's not. So I think I put it down to a 4 because it came out from Callpal as a 4.5. So that could have been either way. So I just dropped it down, I think either this morning or last night. And I just thought, maybe not a full 5. But I think it's gotten to a 4.
4's good.
That's still really good.
Yeah, 4 is a great review.
I think one of my big problems was the miscommunication, which was rife. And I would have liked to have seen why their marriage was on the rocks.
Yeah.
I felt like we never found out, did they have an argument? Were they just not agreeing on something? Was there like some kind of
I got the impression that it wasn't really a thing, but rather that they were just kind of doing their own things and they just kind of were drifting apart. That's the vibe that I got. Because like when you get to the end and they're talking about like, you know, the thing, like when they were renewing their vows or whatever, and they were kind of like talking about how like, I'm going to take an interest in the things that you like. And I'm like, good job. Bare minimum. Bar on the floor, dude.
The bar's in hell. The bar's in hell. But like, I would have just liked to have seen even like a prologue. Like I'm reading right now, You Deserve Each Other, and there's a prologue of, I think it's the first time that they meet or their first date or something. And then you go into like a year and a half later and they're engaged and everything is going wrong. But you do see like the good times and you see what had happened between the two of them. But you don't get any of that here.
Well, okay, so from what I remember, she at least was talking about how they like met on Hinge and like the sparks flew right away. And then they were like, okay, but is this serious? Like, should we delete the app and all this stuff? So I do remember that, but not like really anything else. And since I didn't finish it, I didn't know that we never got an explanation of like what was wrong in the marriage.
Yeah, there wasn't like, it wasn't really a thing that was wrong.
Oh.
It was that like, you know, she wasn't like into what he liked to talk about. And she didn't appreciate his job and he didn't appreciate her passion and spontaneity. It was just like, cool, you two actually don't belong to each other.
Correct.
You're actually not good for each other.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a couple of things that you don't always have to be into the same things that your partner is into. Like I'm sure that there's stuff that your husbands are into and you're like, this is not for me. And
yeah, but I feel like
this
Castleman will talk to me about his gardening. He's very excited. He's putting in a new garden and I am pumped for him. But do I care about his carrots? No. But like, do I appreciate that he's excited? Yes.
Yeah. You can be excited for them and not have to do it with them.
Yes.
That's how you show it.
So I read a review, like a 5-star review of this book on Goodreads, which I do not recommend doing if you didn't like the book. Because they're all
my favorite thing to do. Though.
That's my favorite thing to do too.
Right. Well, these ones the one in particular made me quite mad in that, well, I'm so glad that the author is respecting the sanctity of marriage and having people work their things out. And I was like, cool.
Divorce is not a bad word.
It's not a bad word.
Especially if you just like 5 years is a long time. And if you just don't click with your partner anymore, what are you going to do? Stay in an unhappy marriage?
But also, like, think about it. Okay, so they got together when they were 16. Let's picture who we were with when we were 16 years old. Are we the same person now?
Honestly, like even
I think I brought up a gut reaction to you.
I would say even 5 years ago, I was a different person, but I did meet Derek 5 years ago. So like,
I'm definitely, the thing is like, I'm a different person than who I was 12 years ago when I met Castleman, but like we have grown together is the thing. Like we haven't, yeah, like he supports me.
You're like, you guys grew together, but like sometimes people don't grow together. They grow in different ways.
Yeah.
And that is okay.
That is okay. There is nothing wrong with growing together apart. You know, like you cannot stay the same person forever. Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm a different person to who I was yesterday.
Right.
I'm a different person to who I was an hour ago when I was hungry.
So true.
I do agree with Christy. I loved David, and he needs his own book.
Yeah.
Yes.
David was the shining star of this book.
I felt like David was
loved it. He's a kindergarten teacher.
Yeah.
And he, oh my god, his little like, I'm going to this dating seminar to find out how to get the right woman and how to talk to her. And I was like, this is so adorable.
I wanted more from that seminar.
I need to see more of this.
Like, that could have, if they would have leaned into that and like the two of them going to the dating seminar,
and learning,
it would have been so funny. But like, we just heard snippets of it in passing.
Right.
If they had dedicated a chapter or 2 chapters to be like,
or even like them just like going to one of the seminars.
So this is what we learned at the seminar, and now this is how we're gonna do it. I feel like it would have been a totally different book.
Yeah,
I wish they would have leaned into the humor.
Me too. Like, it could have been so flirtatious and stuff, like really getting to know your husband again.
Yeah.
Because that scene where they were texting each other late at night, I love that.
That was really cute, and it could have been so much more.
Right. Like if we would have done the whole book with that little flirty moment.
Yeah. If we had even done like every night at the end of the day when they were lying in their and then like, so this is what I did over the day, and this is how I spent my day. How did you spend your day? Like when you're getting to know somebody and you're doing that whole dance of what did you do? How was your day? All that type of stuff. It would have been a really good thing rather than just like doing it once and that was it.
Right.
And they could have made a game of it, because when David, or when Graham introduced David to Eliza and was like, oh, this is Eliza, but didn't say that it was his wife, they could have run with that so much more as well and made that whole, like, if you've seen Modern Family, you know how Phil and Claire do it when they go to a hotel and they be like, Clive and Juliana.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, right. I wanted to see Clive and Juliana, but make it a book.
Honestly, when I read the synopsis, that's the first thing that popped into my head.
What I thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
I thought that that's what it was going to be.
I felt like this book had so much potential, and they just like went in the complete wrong direction.
It was kind of like, I don't know, like it honestly felt like they phoned it in. Like it was a very half-assed plot.
Yeah.
Do you think that she wrote her and he wrote him?
That's
usually how they do it.
How they do it. Yeah.
But it's just like it didn't have its full potential.
No.
Like it had the bones of a good book.
Yeah.
But it was just missing
it
didn't
expound on the right things. And then like honestly, let's talk about the sister.
Okay.
Their fight.
I got some fucking thoughts about that.
Okay. What self-respecting adult thinks, well, my sister is just trying to steal the spotlight because she missed her flight?
But also wouldn't listen to the idea of, I'm so sorry. I tried everything to get to, I can't remember where it was supposed to be. I tried rearranging my flight. I tried booking a flight for next morning. I tried getting a hotel and whatever. Just literally would not listen to any part of their discussion of, this is why I couldn't make it. Please let me make it up to you.
If the authors wanted an estranged relationship with the sisters, there are better ways to do that.
There's so much better ways to do it. And I really feel like that was, without being flippant, the dumbest conflict I've ever seen in a book. Like, it just didn't add up that why, if they were so close before, because I know you didn't get to this part, Michelle, right?
No.
So basically the whole idea of the conflict between the two sisters is that when Michelle, as it turns out was her name, was having her engagement party, Eliza missed her flight because she had to work overtime because something went wrong with the recording or something like that. So she had to work overtime on one of the books that she was doing. So she missed her flight because she didn't get out of the recording booth until like 5 minutes before the flight or something. And she literally tried everything. She did that whole thing of like being in the queue and being like, my flight is literally there. Can I please go?
Yeah. Didn't
get it. And then her parents kept ringing her or texting her the whole way through the book and being like, Michelle's wedding's in 3 weeks and we need to get your RSVP. Can you please let us know if you're coming? And she's like, well, I didn't get invited. And she doesn't want me there. And why would she want me there anyway? And we don't speak. And I felt like it could have been done so much better. It could have been done so much more fluidly. And then, literally, you get to 95 or something percent into the book, 95% into this book. And eventually, there's a phone call between the two of them. And eventually, Michelle listens to her, and she's like, I wish I had listened to this sooner. I wish we had done this sooner. And I was just like, you didn't give her the chance. You didn't give her the time of day. Woman, please.
Can I ask?
Yes.
What was even the point of conflict between the sisters? Was
know.
there a point? Because I like literally cannot stand books about sisters right now. And so when I got to that part, I was out.
No,
because I was like, what does this have to do with this romance book?
I think that the point of it was to give her a family drama, because he had the family drama of his mother and father turning up on the day of their anniversary, and paying for everything and being there and all that kind of shit. And I think that they basically did that to what are we going to do to make her life exciting? How are we going to give her a little bit of spice?
Okay. Yeah. That's why I didn't like Book Lovers either, because it was a book about sisters. And I was like, I literally would rather die than read a book about sisters. So that's where I tapped out.
That's fair. Bree, what are your thoughts about the sister fight shit thing?
I don't think that it was as big of a like storyline as Book Lovers was.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's still romance.
Book Lovers, it was the whole book.
The book.
Yeah. But it was just like, it was so immature, and it was like, I can't. It's not believable.
No.
Yeah, I just asked Aoife, like, what was the point of it? And she was like, just to give Eliza a backstory.
Basically. But it wasn't even, like, it wasn't good. Like, it felt, I mean, two teenage sisters getting mad at each other for that. Sure.
For that, yeah.
But not 20-something-year-olds that have professional lives. Like,
it was it did kind of read like one of us is 15, one of us is 17, and you miss picking me up from school tomorrow.
That's because they write YA.
Right. There you are.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But like, I tried to like even think about it. I was like, okay, well, if my sister missed it wasn't even the wedding; it was an engagement party.
Yeah, that's a whole situation.
About engagement party.
Most self-respecting people don't have those.
I know that over in the US, there's like this big whole wedding culture. So you have your engagement party, and you also have your bridal shower, and you also have your bachelorette party, and you have like a rehearsal dinner, and you might have shit with like the family members that it doesn't feel right to bring to the bachelorette party. So like your aunts or your younger cousins or your grandma. Aren't there like 7 billion events that you have to go to for a wedding?
Yeah. You only have an engagement party if you are rich.
Yeah, my parents had an engagement party for me, but they're rich.
I did not have an engagement party.
Yeah, my parents are super rich.
Like, that was not even a thing. I think we might have done like a barbecue the weekend after at my
That's what I've been to. I've been to like, oh, we got engaged. On Friday we're having drinks at the house. Please come over.
Yeah.
Different vibe to we got engaged and we're renting out the room.
Right. And then like in Utah they do more because they like if the couple is LDS and they get married in the temple, and if family members are not LDS and they can't be in the temple, then they do like a separate thing.
Yeah, I would have thought for more.
That's Utah specific. But like, I was like, okay, if my sister would have missed her, like even if she would have missed the rehearsal dinner to my wedding, like I wouldn't automatically be like, you just think it's all about you. No, I'd be like, oh, it sucks. Your flight got canceled. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like this is no one's
life
fault, right?
And I feel like she made it much more of a bigger deal than it had to be.
Yeah, I really just
wanted to make it a big deal. Make it something else.
Why was everything about communication and miscommunication in this book? That is literally, besides like pregnancy, my least favorite thing.
Every character needs a good therapist.
Literally,
a different therapist.
Yes, they all need to go to therapy.
Please don't overwhelm this.
But also, they do need couples therapy.
They do need couples therapy. If they feel insecure around your partner after 5 years.
Yeah. And they can't speak to each other and they can't sit down and have a discussion like normal human adults.
And the fact that like they had 2 rooms by accident, and she was just like, "I will go to this room by myself. I don't want to be near you on our anniversary trip."
Could you imagine?
Like, on your like any other trip,
anniversary trip,
but your anniversary.
Could you imagine being the clerk at the hotel and you're like, "You're here for your anniversary. Oh, you want to?
Can we have separate rooms?
You want to take the 2 rooms?
Can we have separate rooms?
Red flag. Okay. Like,
that marriage is in the toilet.
Yeah.
Anyway, do we have any final thoughts of the book before we go in and talk about the week as a whole?
I don't think I'll read any more adult books by this duo.
I thought you were going to say, I don't think I'm going to read any more adult books. And I was like, oh no, we've lost it.
I'm done reading. I'm just done reading forever.
And you just need your rebrand.
Take down the bookshelf.
Okay, looks like
now it's Michelle's garden.
Look, I know that we're laughing, but if Castleman did do a video about like all of the shit that's in his garden, I would.
He needs to have a channel called Castleman's Garden.
Emily would also watch, subscribe, Patreon.
The channel is happening. I told him to make a channel. It's going to be called Carrot Time. That was Emily's suggestion.
That's such a good name.
Yeah.
Okay. So, how has it been as a whole? Has it been better than this?
No.
Oh,
it has. Yeah.
I have a 5-star, which is great, and then a 3.5 star, and then a 2-star, and then a 2.5 star.
What was your 2 and your 2.5? Your 2 was this.
The 2.5 was this. Catch was my 2-star.
Oh yeah.
What's Catch?
It was the football romance.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go through mine rapid speed. Okay.
All
right, 4 stars. Finished that today.
Nice.
3.5 stars.
I think I gave it the same.
Yeah. 5 stars.
Absolutely.
5 stars.
Oh.
Okay. 2 stars. Awful.
Oh.
3 stars.
What did you not like about the layover? Because I heard
it was literally so boring. The author is also an air flight attendant, and so is the main character, and it's mostly about being a flight attendant, which I did not care about like at all.
No, but I love planes, so I would be so at home at that.
And she's like talking about handing out drinks for like 3 pages, and I was like,
that is
would rather die than read
that.
That
is yeah. I am not going to do 7 and 7. I have already made my peace with this. I know it's not going to happen. I was on track, and then on Friday, I had a really long meeting and got so distracted. I just went and listened to Taylor Swift for the evening.
I'm going to read a thriller romance today.
Yeah, Brie was telling me.
Horror romance.
Even better.
It's how we are inviting Lexi into the circle.
Is it Lexi, please? Let's go.
I mean, it was Lexi's recommendation, so
it was. Lexi was like,
I was watching their sprints after we got off last night, and Lexi's like, I haven't read it, but they're gonna read that tomorrow.
Wait, she recommended you a book that she hasn't even read yet?
Yeah, she's like, this Darcy Coates is a horror romance, and we were like, nice.
Nice. Like both bought the ebook right then.
One of my friends who lives in Spain just finished Danny yesterday. I want to say the day before. See if you agree with me on this. They all feel like different people, but they also feel like sisters.
Oh, yeah.
And she said that she was really worried about that because I kept telling her, read it. And she was like, but what if they're all the same people? What if it's just 30 pages or 300 pages or whatever of Danny is an exact clone copy of Chloe, and then Eve is an exact clone copy of Danny? And I was like, that's literally not the point. You're not going to have that. And then she read it and she's like, this.
And the thing is, like, each sister has like her own thing going on without like spoiling everything.
And the fact that the tropes are all different, I feel like doesn't make it hard.
But I was like so surprised about what was going on with Eve, and then it was just like, this is what's going on with me, and that's it. And I was like, cool. Yeah.
But it never felt like it was tokenism. It just felt like this is Eve, and this is what she goes through, and this is Danny, and this is what Danny goes through, and this is Chloe, and this is what Chloe goes through.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like tokenism at all.
Mm-mm.
I wish we could do one of the Brown sisters as a group read for next one, but I also don't know which one I would pick because I love all of them. But I feel like you could read them out of sync.
We could
easily.
do the Ravenswood book as a group book.
Which one? A Girl Like Her?
Yeah, it's the first one.
What's Ravenswood? What is that?
It's her indie series.
Whoa. Yes. Okay. I'm like, what?
Fuck it, I'm in.
I was like, what are we talking about? What?
What are we talking about? I'm in. I want to.
It's a trilogy, and then there's a novella in between 1 and 2.
Okay.
Is the Roommate Risk a part of that?
No, that's a standalone.
Oh.
Actually, the Roommate Risk is not a book anymore. It's called Guarding Temptation.
Oh.
Guarding Temptation is a really good name for Castleman's channel.
Gardening Temptation.
I will give him these notes.
Please do.
No, the Princess Trap, Guarding Temptation, and then she had another one that was a series, but then 2 of the books got pulled from publication. So like now they're standalones.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I think I've read 4.5. I started with Dani Brown. That was obviously a 5.
I mean, I'm only at 4.5 books too. So
I'm at 4. I'm at 5. Well, does Mary Inkmas count as 1? Is that a novella?
Yeah, of course it counts as 1.
Great. Then I'm at 5.
Oh no, I thought you meant for the week.
Oh, you meant 6.5.
Oh. I started with Dani. That was a 5. Then I read. I can't remember what it was, but I started You Deserve Each Other, and I'm about 20% into it.
Nice.
And I did Girl Gone Viral, and I think I missold myself what that book is about because I thought
it really doesn't feel like it fits.
I thought that it was like Take a Hint, Dani Brown, in that they see each other in the coffee shop, and she goes out with him, but she does not. It is a bodyguard romance.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I missold myself that, so I think that's why I didn't like it.
Yeah, I actually loved it because it was a bodyguard romance, but it didn't.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that.
And I'm also reading
fit with the right swipe. It felt like they were too. They didn't feel like they were.
Yeah, they're too different.
Yeah.
Have you read First Comes Like?
Yeah.
Should I go on?
I didn't like that one as much.
Okay.
I mean, it's good, but it feels like it's just a standalone.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair.
Like I read the first 2 back in like 2018 and then or 2019, and then read this one the last one this past year and was not confused.
Okay.
Oh, I also read Do I Know You? That was a book I couldn't remember. And
But you loved it.
You mean the book we're talking about?
But I also am reading Mistakes Were Made. And I'm having the best time.
Mistakes Were Made is just...
It's the best time.
Oh god.
I was doing grocery shopping this morning, and
well, that's not a great time to be listening.
No, I was doing grocery shopping, and I was reading the scene where they are at the concert. I think it's a concert.
Oh, so not the shower scene.
Have you been to the
shower scene?
Oh yeah.
There's a shower. There's fan art for the shower scene. I will send it to you in the chat.
Please do. So already I have had a car scene. And I have had a bathroom scene, and I'm gonna have a shower scene. Do these people fucking?
Oh, I remember the concert. No, but shower's better.
Sick.
But the shower scene might be the best smut scene I've ever read.
Literally.
Oh, I am so invested. Have you guys read their other book though? Something to talk about, I think it's called.
Yes. No, wait. I haven't. I heard that it's a super incredible, ridiculous slow burn, but
yeah, and that's why I haven't picked it up.
Me too, but me going in knowing that I think is going to be okay, but I think it's like a like publicist actress kind of.
Yeah, I think there's some kind of a celebrity romance.
Yeah, so as long as I'm like going into a romance knowing it's a slow burn instead of like being surprised about
because I feel like that was my big thing with my problem with Girl Gone Viral. I didn't know that it was a bodyguard romance. I thought it was fake dating or like marriage convenience type stuff.
Gotcha.
So because I had that completely different circle in my head, I think that's why I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
But overall, I think it's been a relatively fun week.
Yeah.
How many of the self-care prompts have you guys done? I thought you just went none.
I don't think I've done many of them intentionally.
I think I've done 3 or 4. We're thinking about watching Notting Hill tonight because you were talking about it.
I watched it last.
It's on Netflix, and I was like, okay.
I watched it last night. My mom rang me, spent like 20 minutes on the phone, and I was like, I really have to go. I'm so sorry. Hugh Grant is in my living room. She got confused.
Yeah, Casimir was like, we'll watch it. It's on Netflix. And I was like, okay. So
Derek doesn't watch rom-coms, so
I think Notting Hill is my favorite British rom-com. So I support this, and I would like to know what your thoughts on it are.
Yes, I will let you know. I don't watch a lot of movies because normally I just read, but it'll be good to have like a brain break because I've read so much this week. So
that is true.
Yeah.
Brie and I were talking about this recently. I think we were even talking about it in the chat. Do you feel like you need a break from romance now?
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. I like normally I'll read like 2 romance and I feel satisfied, and then I go to thriller or horror to like cleanse my palate is what I was gonna say. But I'm just like, hard. Yeah, if that was very difficult. Cleanse my palate. But since I've read 6.5 romance books, I'm just like,
that means you're literally gonna have to read an entire library full of thrillers now.
Literally. But it's fine. Like I feel like my brain just needs a break from so much happy and sex.
Earlier on
today, I'm kind of glad we're doing the horror today because I don't usually need a big break, but I have a couple of romances that I need to read next week along with another thriller.
Oh yeah, you still have your entire February TBR to get through too.
Yeah. I did.
I'm filming my TBR tomorrow, and I know that I'm not because I have to do it before surgery, so I'm like doing it early. Yeah. And I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna have a punishment this month because I haven't read any of them.
I did pick up a book, I think right after I DNF Do I Know You for the Alphabet Project, and I literally just listened to like 40% of that, and I was just like, okay, I'm ready to go, and then I went into another romance. So I just needed like a little like, what'd you say?
What letter is that for? N?
I'm on N. So I just needed like a little brain break, and then I was all set to go into my next romance. So yeah.
That's fair. Like I still have one of the Before the Coffee Gets Cold on the go.
Yeah.
And I think I might just like take a little break.
It's hard. Like it's a romance. I mean, no, a readathon sounds like so fun, but then like you try to get all these books in and you're just like, oh my God. Especially with romance, like you know that there's gonna be like an end game. So it's just like going through the journey.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think that might be the difference between what RomComAthon is versus what ContemporaryAthon was, because you could put thrillers in ContemporaryAthon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but look at what you two are doing. You're putting a horror book in here.
We definitely are.
So listen, we have this wonderful idea of next time doing all the romance tropes, but then picking horror books for them. So, like, second chance romance is a final girl trope.
Honestly,
friends to lovers could be the Southern Book Club's guide to slaying vampires. They have to love each other. It's platonic love. Imagine
the recommendations we would
hate to love.
No,
serial killer romance.
I really think that we need to get Lexi to do a video like when we've got all the prompts for next round. I think we should get Lexi to do a horror style.
Well, didn't someone do that for Holiday RomComAthon? They used all the tropes and then read thrillers. And I was like, this is wonderful.
I think it was for Lexi's was it Predictathon or something else?
It could have been Predictathon. I think they were doing both.
Yeah.
I think it was Reads with Sky.
I do remember that somebody fit all of the prompts into like thriller books.
And I remember that.
Listen, you can stretch it if it counts in your heart.
If it counts in your heart.
I think we need to put that somewhere onto the branding next time.
Oh, I'm making merch.
Nice. I want one. Okay, then I think that is everything we have got to discuss. Unless anyone else has anything else they want to talk about.
That was fun. Sorry I DNF'd the group book.
Go back, turn around, go back and pick it up again.
In my vlog, I was like, man, I'm going to DNF this, aren't I? Shit.
And then in my vlog, I'm talking about how I'm having a great time. We're all going to balance each other out.
Yeah.
It's fine. Anyway, thank you all for reading with us over the week. Thank you for being here for the last half an hour. We will be doing it again. Time undecided. But we will be doing it again. Yeah. In the summer. And I know that one of you has got sprints this evening?
No, not
or
tonight.
Tomorrow.
I'm doing them tomorrow morning.
And then I'm doing them tomorrow night.
Excellent. So there's still chances to keep reading if you haven't finished yet. And who knows, maybe you can do 7 and 7.
Okay. You can still do it, Aoife.
I really don't think I can. I'm going to try, but I really, really don't think that I can.
You can finish it with tonight. Do a novella.
Yeah, novella.
The Katie Roberts.
Yeah.
Have you done your age gap romance yet?
I'm reading it now.
Oh, there you
but
go.
Your Dad Will Do would have been perfect for it.
Yeah.
But isn't that book just like straight in? Absolutely no kissing.
Jumped right in. Wait, you've read that one, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've read
just like page 2.
Page 1. Here we go. Okay. Thank you all for being here and enjoy the rest of your day, morning, evening, night. Bye.
Bye.